Welcome to the axle filing tutorial. This method will work for both the Universal and Brompton wheels. The only tool you will need is a flat metal file. On the front and back of your bike, you have the fork. This is what holds the wheel in place. On the fork, you have gaps that hold the axle. The axle is what holds the wheel steady, as it rests on the gaps within the forks. Most of them are 10mm, which our wheel will slot straight into. However, some are 9mm, which is when filing the wheel axle is required. You can test this by trying to insert your wheel axle into your fork. This is a 9mm fork. As you can see, the wheel axle does not fit and requires filing. This is a 10mm fork, and the wheel axle fits perfectly. Make sure you have measured your forks and confirmed they are 9mm before starting. To keep the wheel steady when filing, you can either use a vise, have a friend help you hold the wheel, or by yourself, squeezing your knees and keeping the wheel on the ground. Before we start filing, we need to remove the nut and the washers in order to create space for the filing. Hold the cable straight up to make this easier. The cable also has a small piece of cable tie on it. This is intentional, and you just need to use a little bit of force to get the nut and washers over it. Once finished, turn the wheel around and remove the nut and washers on the other side as well. Look closely at the axle and you will notice a flat side and a rounded side. File only on the flat sides, not the rounded sides. Before you start to file, make sure the cable is out of the way and does not get damaged. You don't need to file the whole length of the axle. You only need to file the part closest to the motor. When you are ready, start filing. Apply consistent pressure to both sides of the axle in order to file them down the same amount. File carefully and check regularly to see if it fits. Continue this process until it does fit, making sure to consistently check as to not file the axle too much. Once it fits on one side, turn the wheel around and start the same process on the other. Finally, place your new switch wheel in the forks. Slot the washers back on and tighten the nuts. Once finished, you're ready to move on to the next step of the installation.